국내 언론에서 전하지 않는 뉴스, 지금 이 순간 폭스뉴스를 통해 확인하실 수 있습니다.
Hey everyone, I'm Laura Ingram. This is the Ingram Angle from Washington tonight. As always, thanks for spending some time with us. The fall of the alleged choker, that's the focus of tonight's angle. Now, by digging up dirt on Eric Swalwell, the Democrat machine thought it was doing the party a service. The crowded California scrum had to be winnowed down to ensure that a Republican governor couldn't slide in. Mr. Sleaze had become too much of a risk. But so is this.
In 2018, while I was living and working as a model in Beverly Hills, he offered me connections to further my software company. And I also had an interest in local politics. He invited me to 2 public events. I knew he was married at the time and that his wife was pregnant. He was my friend. On the 3rd occasion, I believe he drugged my drink.
Then it was the old, I forgot something in my hotel room line.
We were supposed to go to a political event, and he said he needed to get paperwork from his hotel room. When I arrived at his hotel room, I was already incapacitated, and I couldn't move my arms or my body. He raped me, and he choked me. And while he was choking me, I lost consciousness. And I thought I died.
These are horrific allegations. But the floodgates are now open. She's the 5th woman now to accuse Swalwell of sexual misconduct, a man who served in Congress for more than 13 years. Attorney Lisa Bloom, representing Lana Drews, says 3 other women have also contacted her with accusations against Swalwell over the last 24 hours alone. Now, he denies them, but has apologized for what he calls mistakes in judgment. But given everything we've heard, why would someone like Swalwell, knowing the long line of men taken down during the Me Too era, why would he have been so flagrant about his misdeeds? Now, the best theory is that Swalwell obviously thought he'd be protected, that he'd be insulated from accountability because he was too valuable to the party machine. No one attacked Trump and MAGA like him.
Do you believe the president right now has been an agent of the Russians?
Yes, I think there's more evidence than he is. Yes, and I think all the arrows point in that direction, and I haven't seen a single piece of evidence that he's not.
To party leaders, his vicious blows turned Mr. Sleaze into Mr. MVP, and he was brazen about it. Did you know the choker was an expert on how to treat women?
My Republican colleagues do not trust women. You don't trust women. Do you all ever talk to women? They deserve better. Trust women, my friends. Trust women.
Well, what about all your accusers, Eric? Are they trustworthy? Again, the woman's accusations have not yet been tested in court, and we don't know if they ever will be. But the accusations are adding up. Another woman, Ali Sammarco, appeared on CNN earlier today recounting that Swalwell was very active on Twitter, DMing her directly to set up a meeting in his office. And then he told her he'd introduce her to people who would help her.
We went into his office and he closed the door, and it was just the 2 of us. We talked for 20 minutes, and then after that, I left, and he sent me a text message saying, "Could you feel the tension in the room between us?" So from there, the messages shifted to much more personal, much more inappropriate, and crossing a line.
His MO was reaching out, she said, late at night.
He would say things like, "What are you doing? What are you wearing? Send me a photo of what you're doing right now." One night we were talking and he just sent me a photo of his genitals.
Okay. The dude is sending pics of his junk and meeting behind closed doors solo with random women he meets on Twitter, and we're supposed to believe, somehow believe, that the smartest women in politics on the left, Nancy Pelosi, knew nothing about this.
Some Republicans and others are saying that Democrats turned kind of a blind eye, that they knew what he was up to or what the allegations were.
That is absolutely positive. And it's true that they may say that, but it is absolutely not true.
You had no idea?
None whatsoever. None whatsoever. I had none whatsoever.
Adam Schiff had no clue either?
I'm honored that Adam has endorsed my campaign for governor.
Let me say how proud I am to support you, Eric.
Adam was happy to endorse him, but Schiff today says he was blindsided. And Swalwell's BFF, Arizona Senator Gallego, also claims that he was kept in the dark. Now, this is what you call a grilled Reuben.
How did you not know about the allegations, though, considering you chaired his presidential campaign?
This man lived a double life. I was manipulated, I was lied to, and everyone else was too. I, again, had heard rumors. There's rumors about people all the time here. You just don't believe it.
What were the rumors that you heard? What were the rumors?
It was flirty. That was flirty.
And that was when? About what year was?
I mean, that was through. We've heard that. We've heard that throughout. I heard rumors of him being flirty.
Okay, first of all, who uses the word flirty? Second, Gallego knows there is no such thing as being an acceptable flirt on Capitol Hill or corporate America anymore. No such thing. It doesn't pass muster. The Democrat mob may have thought they could strike strategically here to get rid of Swalwell and his problem, but they may have just opened an exploding Pandora's box. And that's the angle. Here to bring...
Fox News alert, another Swalwell accuser just went public, and the allegations are graphic. Viewer warning.
I believe he drugged my drink. I only had one glass of wine. When I arrived at his hotel room, I was already incapacitated and I couldn't move my arms or my body. He raped me and he choked me. And while he was choking me, I lost consciousness. And I thought I died. I did not consent to any sexual activity.
She says the pain didn't go away.
It had a profound impact on my mental health. I self-medicated in an unhealthy way. I did not want to live anymore. I cried all the time for years. At the time, I was in a dating relationship with a boyfriend I was fully committed to. I've never cheated in my life, and I would never have engaged in a consensual sexual encounter with Eric Swalwell.
Today, she handed over what she says are damning texts and photos to the LA sheriff. That's now 5 women accusing him of rape, sexual assault, and harassment, and they want justice.
The fact that he has now dropped out of the governor's race and resigned from Congress, is that justice in your view?
No, it's just the beginning. It's just the very beginning. And I know personally that we're not walking away from this fight.
For me, justice won't be until he can't ever harm a woman ever again, and he has faced the consequences for the women that he has harmed.
I think we just prevented another 30 to 40 years potentially of him harming people if he were to stay in Congress.
One woman claims Swalwell sent her nudes she didn't ask for and says he showed up at her apartment uninvited. Says this wasn't a mistake, it was a mindset.
He thought that he was untouchable. He didn't care what he was putting out there. He thought that all of these women would stay loyal to him.
My delay in taking action against Eric was driven by fear, not doubt. Fear of his political power, his background as an attorney, and his family law enforcement ties.
Drugging, choking, rape. These are serious accusations. The Manhattan District Attorney is investigating, and we expect prosecutors in LA to do the same. Swalwell swears he's innocent and insinuates it's a setup. Kash Patel heard that and invited the congressman to sit down for an FBI interview. I doubt he'll do that. Congresswoman Anna Paulina Luna told us last night her former colleague might end up in cuffs.
I do think that he has serious criminal problems on his hand, and I do think that he might end up in jail, Jesse. And if I could just share with you for a moment, not only did I receive forensic reporting showing that, you know, that infamous video of him in the hotel room was indeed him. It was not AI generated. But I'm also being told that, more stuff is going to be dropping in the next 24 hours. And then also potentially the individual that recorded that video in that hotel room, Jesse, was a female and she was underage.
Oh. Fox hasn't been able to independently confirm Swalwell was actually the guy in the video or anyone in the room was underage, but we're working on it. Democrats raised millions off Believe All Women, remember? They nuked due process in the process. And Swalwell, he led the charge.
My Republican colleagues do not trust women. You don't trust women. Do you all ever talk to women? They deserve better. Trust women, my friends. Trust women. They will get it right.
Turns out Democrats only believe women when it works for them. Everybody knew Swalwell had a zipper problem. Even his best friend in the whole world, not our words, Swalwell's, says he had a rep.
In the beginning, you said when you first heard these rumors a few weeks ago, that's when you called him. Then you said you've heard these rumors for years. So which one is it, Senator?
So I heard rumors of him being flirty.
When you first heard these rumors, should you have acted when you first heard these rumors several years ago?
The rumors I heard were that he was just a flirty social guy. That's it.
Nancy had to know. She was his mentor. Pelosi put him on the House Intel Committee and had his back after Fang Fang. She also tapped him to take down Trump on impeachment, J6 committees. Nance sponsored him. Now she says, don't look at me.
Some Republicans and others are saying that Democrats turned kind of a blind eye, that they knew what he was up to or what the allegations were.
That is absolutely positive. And it's true that they may say that, but it is absolutely not true.
You had no idea.
None whatsoever.
Nancy knows everything. It's her job to know. She knows who's having an affair, who's having money troubles, whose kid has a drug problem. Nancy's a lot of things, but she's not ignorant. Hollywood poured over $100 grand into Swalwell's campaign. Sean Penn, Robert De Niro, Jane Fonda. Big names, big checks. Did they know Swalwell's dirty little secret? Little Eric was crashing at his big billionaire backer's pool house. Now the donor's like, Eric who?
Did you suspect this at all?
No! I was blown away.
How's your relationship with Eric? Are you guys still friends?
Eric who? Is that clear?
After the coup, everyone plays clueless. Democrats had dirt on Swalwell the whole time. But he was useful as a weapon against Trump. So they turned a blind eye to his shenanigans until he threatened their power in California. Then boom, coup. Nuked him on the eve of the primary. They fired their first shot Friday in the San Francisco Chronicle. Hometown paper, you know, make it look local. Then every endorsement got yanked. Like clockwork, victims started appearing on TV, and by Monday, he was done. The last accuser today was supposed to be the kill shot, but he was already out. Someone call 911. I'd like to report a murder. This was such a highly orchestrated, well-executed political assassination. The only way this could have been pulled off in 3 days, if the Democrat machine knew about Swalwell's skeletons for years. Reporters are running around D.C. bragging they had dirt on Swalwell this whole time. Other congressmen, staff, they're all saying, yeah, we knew. Did they dig into it? No. Did they tell him to knock it off? Doubt it. Did any of them help the women? No. They waited until the machine gave the green light and then said, yes, sir, and took him out. Same thing happened with the Biden cover-up. They knew Joe was toast, lied about it, but when Biden blew himself up at the debate, he became a liability and put all their seats in play, threatened their power. So we got whacked. Then Tapper wrote a book, and everyone was like, oh, yeah, everybody knows Joe was comatose. He fell asleep in his soup. The Democratic machine is ruthless. They survive on blackmail, cover-ups, and coups. Trump took on the Republican machine in 2016 and beat it. But the Democrat machine, still undefeated. We're not saying Swalwell's a victim. No. He loaded the gun. The party just pulled the trigger. They made Eric Swalwell cool. They put him out there like this young gun with social media game, a straight white guy without toxic masculinity. You look at Swalwell's profile, cable news hits, foreign travel, top committee spots. You'd think this guy was the coolest kid in D.C. That's what the Democrats wanted you to think. But when the first girl came forward, nobody had his back. Not one person in the media, after all those TV hits, he lived in their green rooms. Not one person in the House, not one person on his staff defended him. No, whoa, Eric's a good guy. Let's give him the benefit of the doubt. Nothing. No loyalty, no friends, nothing. Everybody knew. And when it was time, they knew what to do. What a nasty business. So Swalwell's finished, and the bench is thin. It's Potatoes or the billionaire. But Potatoes has baggage. She's accused of burning her husband with a pot of scalding hot mashed potatoes, hence the nickname, terrorizing her staff. And you remember this?
I'm going to try to win every vote I can. And what I'm saying to you is that...
Well, to those voters, okay, so you...
I don't want to keep doing this. I'm going to call it. Okay. Thank you.
You're not going to do the interview with us?
Nope, not like this. I'm not. Not with 7 follow-ups to every single question you ask.
Every other candidate has answered.
I don't care. I don't care. I want to have a pleasant, positive conversation in which you ask me about every issue on this list. And if every question you're going to make up a follow-up question, then we're never going to get there.
Ms.
And
Porter,
we're just going to circle around.
I am an investigative
I have never
reporter.
had to do this before, ever.
You've never had to have a conversation with
to end
a
an
reporter?
interview.
Okay, but every other candidate has done this.
So I guess Democrats are going to nominate a billionaire who dances like this. A straight white billionaire with no rhythm. That is everything California stands against. Everything. So, plan B. Luckily, they got plenty of California girls in the sea.
California is the fourth, it's like running a country.
Yeah.
And Swalwell was running to be governor, and he was the lead candidate for the Democrats. And so I'd like to see Kamala Harris maybe put her hat back in the ring for governor of Congress, governor of California.
Welcome to Hannity. And tonight, America's blockade against Iranian ports in the Strait of Hormuz is already, well, squeezing the terrorist regime. We have a full report that's coming up straight ahead. Plus, we will cover the dramatic rise of violent so-called teen takeovers. It's happening all across the country. And coming up, a shocking new report from the Biden DOJ, which was working to criminalize pro-life opinions. But we begin in the state of California tonight, where the former congressman and former gubernatorial frontrunner Eric Swalwell, Mr. Fang Fang, is in big trouble as scores of accusers, one after another, coming forward with very serious allegations of sexual misconduct, assault, and even rape. Take a look.
When I arrived at his hotel room, I was already incapacitated and I couldn't move my arms or my body. He raped me and he choked me. And while he was choking me, I lost consciousness. And I thought I died. I did not consent to any sexual activity.
Now, that was today in California, but it was not the only allegation of rape. Take a look.
I went to the bathroom and I don't remember anything after that.
You don't remember anything?
I remember the next day. I can see flashes of that evening of him on top of me pushing him off, him grabbing me. It was a lot more aggressive. It was aggressive.
Did you say no?
Yes, I said no. In my flash that I can recall, I was pushing him off of me saying no.
And what did he do?
He didn't stop.
He didn't stop. and you woke up the next morning. I woke up the next morning naked, alone in his hotel room.
Frankly, for everyone, obviously that is hard to hear, but it does not end there. Two more victims spoke to CBS News about their horrific encounters with the former congressman, Eric Swalwell. Take a look.
No, it's just the beginning. It's just the very beginning. And I know personally that we're not walking away from this fight.
For me, justice won't be until he can't ever harm a woman ever again, and he has faced the consequences for the women that he has harmed.
I think we just prevented another 30 to 40 years potentially of him harming people if he were to stay in Congress.
Yeah.
So in that sense, I think we have served justice for his future victims.
Wow.
That won't exist anymore.
And yet another woman accused Swalwell of sending graphic, unsolicited pictures. Take a look.
He would say things like, "What are you doing? What are you wearing? Send me a photo of what you're doing right now." And then eventually one night we were talking and he just sent me a photo of his genitals.
Unsolicited.
Unsolicited, yeah. Eric Swalwell is responsible for Eric Swalwell, not the media, and definitely not the women.
Now, tonight, Mr. Fang Swalwell denies the serious allegations, but that might not matter. Not only is Swalwell's political career now officially over, but in all likelihood, he may soon be facing serious criminal trouble. I mean serious. Now, the first accuser we showed you tonight is filing a police report with the Los Angeles County Sheriff. Swalwell is also reportedly under investigation in New York City. And meanwhile, the FBI Director, Kash Patel, he is monitoring all of these allegations, writing, quote, Eric Swalwell has maintained that none of the allegations against him are true. And now that he has resigned, we would welcome him to sit down with the FBI and share any information that he has. But tonight, I do have bad news for Eric Swalwell. Based on his own long-held beliefs, it is not looking good. Take a look.
My Republican colleagues do not trust women. That's what this is entirely about. Trust women, my friends. Trust women. They will get it right.
As a former prosecutor, as somebody who has spent my time in Congress working to stand up for the rights of victims, and now I'm calling on my Republican colleagues. This is not about red team versus blue team. This is about sexual assault victims who deserve justice.
What are the chances that 3 or 4 women independently who never met each other would have similar experiences with one person? So either Ari, this person committed these horrific acts, or he is the single unluckiest person in the world for these people to conspire and make up lies against him.
Ultimately, this is all much bigger than a congressman from California. This is a story about the Democratic Party, the legacy media mob who wax poetic about women's rights and believing all victims if it helps them politically. Just like they don't really care about how many people were shot in Chicago this weekend. 28. I thought lives mattered. Does anyone, even one Democrat, know the name of one of the victims those shot and killed this weekend? I doubt it. For years, it was an open secret that Swalwell was a giant creep. He even got caught purportedly sleeping with a Chinese spy. Hopefully that information will soon be released to the public. After all, he's all for transparency as well. But the left-wing ecosystem in Washington, D.C. and the swamp said nothing. They did nothing. No interviews, no investigative reports, no calls for Swalwell to resign. In fact, they stood by. They did nothing as he ran for governor of one of the most important states in America. Democrats only pretended to care when a crowded Democratic field in California split the vote, putting the governor's race in jeopardy. They needed Swalwell to drop out. So the Democratic machine, they got to work. Even Swalwell's best friend in Congress pretended to be totally, completely, utterly unaware of his best friend's behavior until just recently. And that is Senator Ruben Gallego.